Mean-Mugging with Chinny G. Hey, welcome everybody. Tonight I'm joined by Canadian MMA icon Dean Panas.
I'm one now.
Hey, how's it going, Dean?
Going good. Thanks for showering, Kenny.
Hey, no problem, man. You know, gotta keep it clean, you know. Gotta keep it fresh. Even had to brew some coffee up.
I don't know if that's a regular occurrence for you, so I hope you didn't shower for Jake.
I didn't. I didn't. Oh man.
Jake likes it dirty.
Yeah, I've heard that about him. How are things, Dean?
Things are good, brother. Things are good. I had a good day. Did some golfing in the morning, and then did some work with the ball hockey league today, and then played some slow pitch tonight. So
Ah,
I'll
nice.
be hurting, but it's good.
Oh, Chinny's fogging up. It's hot in the studio. gotta kick the AC on. Yeah, I gotta kick that AC on here soon. But I had a really good time with Jake last night.
You know what, Jacob's honestly, he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met. He's just a good man. He's a real good man. Forget about MMA, forget about everything else. When you ever get a chance to talk to him off the record about stuff, just his life and some of the shit he's done and some of the people he's helped.
Right?
He's a fucking sweetheart. Let's just put it that way.
We were lucky. That was the longest show I ever did, actually, and I'm pretty damn sure we could have talked all night long. And it's so nice to be able to, because we went off topic quite a bit, off of the MMA topic. You know, and for me that's kind of. Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, you know, and he has that same kind of quirkiness about him. He likes to be able to, you know, find out who am I talking to, you know, who am I, you know what I mean? And I think for a lot of people that don't know Jake, they got a lot of insight into him last night.
100%. No, I listened to all 154 minutes or whatever the hell it was of it. And talked to Jake quite a bit, and we on a podcast that we do, that happens quite a bit where we just start talking. And I've asked him, I'm like, are you sure, we've done this quite a bit. Apparently the feedback he's got from the viewers, the listeners, is they like it. When we just talk about stuff, they prefer listening to us over guests sometimes. So that's and he said some of the shows where we do that are some of the best ratings. So I think that's a huge compliment. Oh,
for sure. We covered a wide range of topics last night, from television shows to, we talked about a lot of different stuff. It was a lot of fun. But you have been, like Jake, you've been involved in the Canadian and Western Canadian MMA scene for a long time.
Yeah, I think I got involved in 2006 or 7, whenever TFC started. Been doing boxing for a few years before that, and then when KO Boxing started, TFC, the Fight Club, that was my first taste of it, and kind of just grew from there. Milan Lugovac, who I owe everything I do in any professional combat sports. I got my foot in the door because of him, and so that opportunity arose, and then it grew from there. Some other opportunities came by, from there I got managing and worked for other promotions, and I love it, man. I love what I do. I'm very privileged. I counted a couple months ago how I think I've worked for 16 different promotions.
Okay.
And throughout Western Canada. And a lot of that is because I'm out of Edmonton, to be honest. You look back in 2009 and 10, I remember counting, I think there were was 16 different promotions that put on a show that year, and 8 of them were out of Edmonton.
Yeah.
So and that's like 16 across Canada. And, you know, you look at how many people are in Ontario, and they just don't have, you know, the fighters can't get fights. People that are in the business can't get work or any kind. So, yeah, I'm lucky, you know, knock on wood.
Well,
I'm a lucky guy, so,
they say location is everything, and we're fortunate enough to be in Alberta. And, I mean, you look at what Sonny's done with Unified in the short time that Unified has been with us. He sells out every show.
Yeah, Sonny is a great businessman. Great, you know, very, very good promoter. But his business model, and I was talking to one of the local sports guys here, Jason Greger, who had his own show, and he was quite involved with NFC. And I was talking to him one day, and we started talking MMA, and he, you know, he was pro MFC, this and that, and for you know, valid reasons. But I said the best MMA business in Western Canada is Unified, and he hadn't even heard of it. Who's Unified? I said, man, he sells out all the time. He's got his own venue. He gets his own booze sales. There's not an empty seat in the house. Can't be any better than that. And of course, Gregor came back with saying, well, yeah, MFC's got this TV deal and everything else. And I said, yeah. I said, and that's great. I said, but as far as a pure business model and all that goes, is Sonny is the best. He's the best at that, because, you know, a lot of because of the venue and stuff. But he's also been very smart in keeping his shows the size that they're at. You know, he hasn't tried to do too much. He said, you know what, I could probably sell more if I went to this place, or you know, gone to the Shaw Conference Center, or gone to the Expo Center. He doesn't have to. You know, Sonny and I were talking one day, and even though it was probably his most high-profile fight ever, you know, except for possibly Haig and Moser, that's when he put on Haig and Rama. He just wanted to have a big fight, so he put on Haig and Rama. And when it was over, he said, you know, I don't even know why I did it, because if I put on other guys, I'm still going to sell out, and I would have saved a lot of money up first. But he just wanted to do it. And I think that there comes a time, Sonny, every once in a while, just wants to prove to guys, you know, like, fuck you, I can do this if I want to. But I prove not to. He's very loyal to his guys. He's very loyal to his athletes. The guys that are loyal to him, he gets them fights. And that's very, very important, because you don't see that from a lot of promoters. It's like, yeah, man, I'll remember you. You help me out now, I'll remember you later. Well, they don't. They don't put gun cards in the future. Sonny does. He's very loyal to his guys. No matter what he does, if he can say, okay, I'm putting on a Unified 44 is going to happen a year from now, blah, blah, blah. Half his tickets are sold because he's got loyal customers that come all the time. No matter who's fighting, he's got loyal customers.
Yeah.
So he's good. He's very good at that. And like I said, I tip my hat to him. I've been working for him for a year and a half now, and I'm very happy to do so. And I tried to get there for a while, but he was loyal to his old announcer, which was cool. Loyalty is one of the best attributes any man can have. And it was great he was loyal to him, but I'm very happy, you know, announcing that Bose or Haig fight, bringing those guys out, and I put a lot into that intro, and the rush I felt from the crowd that night was incredible. That fight had a lot of high hate coming in, and I wanted to do it justice, and I put a lot of time into that intro, and it went over real well, and the fight was done pretty quick.
Yeah, it was brief, but you know, big props to Tanner, because he didn't shy away. He went right at Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, and fighting a guy like Tim Haig with that kind, you know, we all know Tim has that power, and stepping up like that took an incredible amount of balls, man.
100%, Chinny, 100%. And Jake and I talked about it a couple days after the fight and broke it down. And everywhere I read, oh, people bitch about this and how stupid, why would the guy do that? You know what? Fuck, good on him. Good on him for saying, you know what? This guy's been knocking everybody out. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to knock him out. But nobody was expecting it. expecting it. When I broke to fight down with Jake, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Man, Pana's got to take it deep. Don't be in any rush. You know, hit him one, 2 shots, back away, circle, do it again. Do that 20 times around. Go in there, bang, bang, back up. 15 seconds, you know, go in there, do it again. Take him into round 2. Take him into round 3." That's what I thought he was going to do. You know, I thought that would have been the game plan. I'm assuming everybody did. And Tim Hague actually broke it down the best, because he told me shortly after, he goes, "I was Todd Duffy and he was Tim Hague." Or not Duffy, the guy that Duffy knocked Hague out. Anyways, the night that Hague got knocked out, he was like, he was Tim Hague tonight. He goes, and it was like, Tim told me, it was like, it was in slow motion for me. He came across and goes, "I knew I was going to punch him right in the chin." And that's, you know, that's a lot of experience and a lot of training. But I still give Tanner a lot of credit for doing that, because it, like you said, it takes a ton of balls and it takes a lot of heart. A guy that went in there to win, you know, if he knocks him out that quick, right? I'm talking of Tanner that knocks him out that quick.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, that's
now. And
the thing with that people forget about Tanner is a young guy, and he had a solid record coming into the fight. He was what, 6-0 coming into that fight as pro, and so, you know, when you got 2 guys like Tim and Tanner, and they 2 bulls stepping into the center of the cage, as it were, and throwing down. The bottom line is, whoever touches first is likely going to put the other guy down. You know?
When they go in with that, when they go in with that mentality, that aggression, a lot of times the longer it goes, it gets sloppy. And that's why guys don't really want to do that. A lot of people thought it was a bad fight for Tanner. I didn't. I personally thought it was a great fight for Tanner, because if he lost, which he did, it doesn't hurt him at all, in my opinion. It doesn't hurt his career at all. It's the only thing that I'm disappointed at as a fan of Tanner is I learned nothing that night as far as how good is Tanner. I wanted to see what was going to happen in that fight. I wanted to, you know, whether he won or lost, I wanted to see how he was going to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted, you know, that was his biggest fight by far.
Oh, yes.
But we learned nothing. Like, we learned absolutely nothing.
Well, 6 seconds.
Like, but we didn't learn, like, that, it sounds ridiculous, Chinny, but that wasn't a mask. Like, Tim didn't mop forward. You know, it's not like Tim dominated him for 3 rounds and then finished it.
No, he buttoned him.
He got him up.
Yeah.
And that sounds, you know, to someone that's not a big fight fan, they go, "What the hell? How can you beat a guy worse than knock him out in 6 seconds?" Well, you could actually beat his ass for 15 solid minutes. That's actually a worse beatdown than knock him out in 6 seconds.
That's right.
Now they'll argue that. I don't know how you fucking. But it is. It's. He got caught. Fight was over. Bang.
Yeah.
Does that happen again? No. Not saying Tim doesn't win, but you know, I wanted to see, you know, even 2 or 3 minutes of them going at it. I wanted to see how Tanner looked. Right. So I'm disappointed we missed out, but it was quite a spectacle to be there. Like, it was just like, what, the whole place just went, you know, half the place erupted, and the other half was like, holy shit, did that really just happen?
Yeah, so, yeah. I
think it's a fight that people will never forget.
Yeah, and I think, like you were mentioning now, people jumping on social media saying, you know, it wasn't a very good fight, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of those people that jumped on social media and had so much to say about that were following the build-up to that fight on social media. Tanner and Tim went at it on social media, something fierce, man.
Yeah, a lot of it was Tim early on. Yeah. You know, folks in there. And then even more so than Tanner and Tim, it was everybody else going at it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Some stuff ridiculous.
Well, you know, you get those guys that are, you know, we classify them as keyboard warriors, and whatnot, and we see it. You know, I see it every day because I cruise social media sites and whatnot, and I'm looking for material all the time, right? And you know, I've admin a few different pages and sites, and some of the crap you see is just it's fucking ridiculous, man. You know, and you just gotta shake your head. It's like, come on, really? Like I remember this guy from Ontario jumping on Ryan Ford's Facebook wall, and oh my god, the crap! And I actually was supposed to be in Toronto, and I told the guy, I said, tell you what, man, you got a pretty big mouth. And I'll tell you what, why don't we meet up a gym? You pick up a gym, and we can sign the waivers, and we can, you know, because you know Ryan Ford's not going to go beat the guy up, and you know, and I knew myself the guy would just pussy down anyway. It's just how these guys go, you know, when they start yipping and yapping. But you know, the argument was ridiculous. I mean, I'm one of those types of people who believe that we all have our shit in our life that has happened, some of it possibly to a larger degree than others, and this had to do with something that had happened, you know, you're privy to as well, I know, we're not going to go into it here because there's no need to. You know, I mean, for fuck's sakes, man. First of all, you know, I just got no time for that kind of shit, and, you know, those type of people, you know, you get down off your high fucking horse and shut up. That's kind of how I see that kind of shit.
Well, that's it. That's it. And like, you know, call him keyboard warrior, call him whatever you want. I go the other way. I don't let things like that bother me. Actually, anytime, because I take a beating in a lot of places. But anytime someone is, you know, even takes the time to rag on me, it's like, cool, I'm doing a good job. If they're willing to put the time and that into it, I'm willing to say, hey, thanks. Say what you want, man. You're actually commenting about me. You must be doing something right. But it's like, you know, I live in Edmonton. The Oilers have been terrible for a few years now. And but when things are going bad, it's better for business if you're in the radio business or media or whatever, because there's always something to write about people. Like if you're running a radio show and things are going bad, people are always calling in because they want to bitch. When things are going good and they don't even call. Like, so people are always willing to talk trash, and guys never compliment or whatever. So anytime you read something negative on yourself, you know, it'll be 10 to 1 to positive. But for every time someone is saying something positive, they're speaking for 10 or 20 people, because very rarely do you guys take the time to express, you know, that was awesome, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I like to do that. Like, you know, Jake and I get frustrated over some stuff, and we just take the hours, man. Thank the people, you know, be the positive guy. You know, people will call you and ask us, oh, you're a pussy, you're kissing this guy's ass or whatever. It's like, no, man. I'm going to give this guy. Jake's seen me get in confrontations with guys or close the door, then I will lay into people. I got no problem with that. But it's not on a forum. It's not, you know, I've some of the guys we've dealt with, it's like, you know, I was working a show, and 2 minutes before going live on air, I was doing play-by-play. Me and the promoter went at it. And then 2 minutes later, I'm doing an intro. Hey, welcome to blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's like, you know, that's over and done with. You know, I'll rip someone's ass, you know, apart behind the scenes, close the door, but I'll never go on social media and bitch. I'll never post under a fake name and bitch. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Don't need to do that. It would, you know, I'm a huge supporter of Top MMA News. Love Keith. Big fan of Big Wing Don Wilson. Cody Rempel and I sit together all the time in fights. You know, I love all those guys. Love their website. It's pretty much the only place I go to for MMA. Follow them because it's all about the guys that know and stuff. But I hate that you can post on there under a fake name. Drives me nuts. I'm a big proponent of it, but I would never go and post under a fake name because then I'm thinking I'm hypocrite. Like, there's been more times when I've just wanted to go and, you know, bite my tongue, and it's just said, no, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to say this and then do that. So it's just not my style. You know, my company's old school. That's the name I picked because, you know, in any sport, whether it's hockey or football or baseball or MMA or boxing. Yeah, he's an old school.
Yeah.
You know, he's an old school player. Who box in your head? He's an old school fighter. You know, you get a mindset. That's just, it describes it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's old school.
For sure.
Yeah, that means something. Right?
That
means something.
I'm really excited about the next month or so here. There's so many events going on. We got, of course, at the end of the month here, we got Unified 23 going down. And then...
23. I can't remember. I'd have to check. I'll be honest with you. I think it's 22. I could be wrong.
Could be.
Yeah.
And then we've got KOTC up here in Cold Lake on the 12th.
You're going to be sitting by me, bro?
Oh, cool. That's going to be a fun time. I'm looking forward to that. And that's a nice little card. I'm going to do a full breakdown on that card before the event takes place. I'm hoping to maybe have a couple of fighters billeted in the house while they're up here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I messaged Sonny about that and told him that I have a couple of rooms here that I'd be happy to put somebody up in.
Oh, well, good on you, brother. Hey, I'm looking at the clock. We've been on for 23 minutes. I haven't seen him mugging yet.
Oh, Mean-Mugging, Chinny G.
There you go.
It's hard to do, to find an appropriate time to do it in an interview process, unless we come across something that, we bring up something that deserves a good mean mug. So far we haven't done that. But we got...
Jane Curtis.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that card. And then, of course, we'll be at World Series of Fighting 21 on the 5th.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. I got my VIP pass through Ryan Ford. I bought a pass this time.
Yeah, I saw that. Good on you, bro.
Well, you know, I actually Darren Owen put me in touch with I can't remember the guy's name, but he's supposed to put me on the media list for a World Series of Fighting. I emailed him and whatnot. Darren something, I think his name was. It could be Dean. Whistle. But anyway, he was supposed to email me stuff back, and I haven't received anything yet, so I said, screw that. I just, it's a crapshoot. I'm just going to buy my pass.
And I sit in there. Darren treats me well, and it's the place to be. Like, I know I've got some guys in there, and it's like, and they buy them every time. Like, that's where you want to be. Like, when you're just, I'm spoiled because I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
Right. That I'm looking for promotion. So you get to that experience of, as a fight fan. So guys that are going that go to every show and they're sitting in the stands. They love it. They love the intro to fighters. They love the music. They love seeing their buddies fight. But when you're that close and you're hearing the cornermen and you're hearing the fighters actually talking in the cage, and a leg kick is just like a loud snap, and you're hearing that, and it's just a total new experience for these people. Because I remember back to, for me, 8 years ago, when it's like, holy shit, and you try, because I'm a very empathetic person, and because I like to feel people's feelings, and I try and get that out of interviews, and I try and get that into introductions, and I get that out of movies and everything else. So I'm there with a buddy that I never sat that close, and I'm just looking at him, seeing stuff, and it's like I can feel how much he's enjoying it, which makes me super happy because I brought him there. And it's like, yeah, I remember the first time I got to see this close.
Yeah. And
it's awesome. It's I tell a guy, it's honestly, it's worth the extra money to sit that close.
My first event that I went to, actually a big event that I went to live, was World Series of Fighting Canada 2. And Ryan was injured, couldn't fight on that card. And I was sitting, I purchased my ticket, it was cage side sort of. I was in the very front row, right by the Partners Walkout, right in the corner. And I was sitting next to Dwayne Lewis's mom. What a great fan she is. She was great to sit by because she was quite excited throughout the night. But I sat there and I had a pillar, a cage pillar. Fuck my, oh no. Are you gone, Dean? We is too. You there, Dino? Uh-oh, we lost Dean. We're gonna try and get him back. You there, Dino? Well, Mean-Mugging losing Dean. Oh my goodness. We're gonna try and get him back here. Dum da dum dum. I think we lost him, man. We're gonna try. Jesus Murphy. Okay, we're gonna try calling him again. Yeah, this has happened. Who was I had this happen to me before. Skippy Cohen or somebody like. No, it was somebody. I can't remember who it was. But Mean-Mugging him anyway. My goodness, I hate it when this happens. Losing them. I can't even hear it ringing. That's kind of weird, man. I used to always hear it ringing. I wonder if his phone died. It could happen. Oh, I get nothing. No answer. Wow, that always bites a big one, doesn't it now? Doesn't it? Oh my goodness. We were having such a good conversation too. Try again. Goodness me. Chinny hates it when that happens. What are you gonna do? And Chinny's drinking coffee too, and I'm all wound up. This is a late night for Chinny. Let's see. Okay, just wait. We're gonna pause this for a minute. Ah, we got him back. Haha, excellent. Oh, Mean-Mugging, bad internet connection. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Yeah, actually, the connection's way better now too. I can see you way better even.
Oh, that's not good.
Excellent. Yeah, I had to run downstairs and grab my internet stick. I'm like, Jesus Murphy, where'd that go? I tried calling you back a few times. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then,
I tried calling you as well, and I sent you a message on Messenger, but we're all good now.
Yeah, we're back. It didn't miss too much of a beat because Chinny was smart enough to hit the pause button. But yeah, I was at World Series of Fighting the 14 there when Ryan won as well, or fought Shields and lost actually. And that, Ryan Ford, by the way, I'm drinking coffee. I don't usually drink coffee at this time of night. And I'll tell you a story why. Speaking of Ryan Ford, because last time I did this, okay, I put alcohol in this though. I've got Bailey's in here.
I got my Gibson's right here.
So, last time I drank coffee at night, really weird. I have vivid weird dreams when I drink coffee at night, right? And, Ryan Ford and I put together a coup to do a heist, and we were going after some jewels. Okay? And all was going really well until Ryan turned into Kaiser fucking Sosa, okay? And if you guys don't know who Kaiser Sosa is, you need to check out a movie called, what was the movie called? Kevin Spacey.
I see it in my head. It's an incredibly good movie.
Yeah. Ryan decided to turn into Kaiser fucking Sosa anyway. The usual suspects.
Usual, yes.
And started whacking everybody in the crew. Chinny made it out alive. Good news.
Well, here we are. Ryan's always battling the persona and what people say about him. And here we are. Now all of a sudden he's a jewel heist.
I'll try to get a laugh out of that.
I hear you mention Ryan all the time, and for good reason. He's an awesome cat. Not only, he's very entertaining in the cage, and what he brings is dynamic. But one of my favorite Ryan story is the night he won his first belt with TFC. My son was there, and he had just turned 18. And so we went to the after party after, and after that we ended up going back to Ryan's house. A couple of Ryan's buddies, and I took my son there. And to this day, he's now 24 and he's got 2 kids of his own. He still tells me this day he was at the best party I've ever been to. It was the night of the fights when Ryan, my son, 18 years old, he's walking around Ryan's house wearing his belt. Like, that's something he'll never forget. And that's awesome for me to give that memory to my son.